Is that fear I smell? Intriguing. Why? Because I can. Next time, run.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mickey C, aka TheLoLHounds, and today we have another build guide, this time on the highest rated and best LOL skill Korean Katarina, and he goes by the name of 8dot. He's currently Masters with close to 600 games on Katarina on his main account. I believe his Smurf account is only currently Diamond 2, where he probably just uses his Smurf to try out new things, etc. I did a little bit of research and found out that he actually has a YouTube channel with a few montages on it, so link in the description if you want to go check that out. Anyway, this is just going to be a video that goes through his runes, masteries, item build and skill order, and then you guys can then either copy it or compare your Katarina build to his. He does have a few slight differences in his build to what most players are using on Katarina, such as he starts with Dark Seal every time over any other starting item, so we'll get into that a bit later, but without further ado, let's get into this build guide. So quickly, summoner spells, he would always take Flash and Ignite, and he would never take any other summoner spells. It would always be those two, Flash and Ignite. So firstly, we'll start with his runes and masteries. Masteries, he takes a fairly standard page, 12-18-0, with his keystone mastery being Thunderlord's Decree. I guess the one thing to point out is he takes 1 point in Vampirism and 4 points in Natural Talent. You guys can just pause the video and copy it if you want to. As for his runes, he takes 9 magic penetration reds, 9 scaling health yellows, 9 scaling ability power blues, and 3 ability power quints. It's interesting he takes scaling ability power blues over just flat ability power. I guess one of the main reasons for doing this is because he actually starts with a Dark Seal, which provides some flat AP with the item, which obviously you don't get if you start with boots or cloth armor, for example. Now we will move on to his actual item build. As I said before, he always starts with Dark Seal, 3 health pots and a yellow trinket. This is something you don't usually see on Katarina. Most Katarina players would start with either boots of speed, cloth armor, or maybe a Doran shield depending on the matchup. So why does he start with Dark Seal? Well, Dark Seal is the only starting item apart from Doran's ring that gives Katarina AP. Obviously Doran's ring is completely useless on Katarina, and I don't recommend you start with that item. Dark Seal though gives you 15 AP and also 25% increased healing from health potions. Katarina does get poked down quite a bit early game in most matchups, so the increased healing does help a lot, and obviously AP is very good on Katarina. Dark Seal is also a snowballing item, and Katarina is a very strong snowballing champion. You can eventually upgrade to a Medjai's if you want to. The mana you get from it is completely useless though. Following on from this, he would usually look to rush Sorcerer's Shoes as his first item. If on his first back he doesn't have enough for Sorcerer's Shoes, he would usually just go for an Amp Tome instead. Following on from Sorcerer's Shoes, his next 2 core items would be Luden's Echo and a Void Staff. He very rarely rushes Abyssal Scepter, but sometimes he would get an early Negatron Cloak and then late game upgraded to an Abyssal Scepter. he would usually get a Negatron cloak against champions such as Annie LeBlanc, who can one-shot Katarina before Kat kills them. An example of a full build would be Sorcerer's Shoes, Luden's Echo, Void Staff, Zonya's, Abyssal Scepter, and then maybe a Death Cap. Against AD champions, he would usually look to rush Zonya's before the Void Staff. Other items he would consider is upgrading Darkseal into Medjay's. By the looks of things, he would only do this if he has 10 stacks on Darkseal. Apart from that, he sometimes gets a QSS, especially against heavy CC comps or champions such as Malzahar, or buys a last item Guardian Angel. As for his skill order, he would always start Q, get E second if he believes he can get a kill level 2 and needs the gap closer. Otherwise, he would just take W instead to help him farm better or against melee matchups. He would max Q first, W second, E third, and obviously his ultimate whenever he can. Finally, I'll just talk about how he plays the laning phase after I've spectated a few of his games. For the most part, he would just try and scrap out as much CS as possible, using mostly his Q and W to CS from afar. He would very rarely go up to melee range to auto attack a minion if he knows he's going to take too much damage. So for the most part, he would just try and scrap up as much CS as possible, and then whenever he gets the opportunity, he would look to roam and get kills from that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, please leave a like. And as always, have a nice day.
30 seconds until minions spawn.